What's the best workout to cut and the best workout to bulk? Watch this.
Our first caller is Todd from Virginia.
Todd, what's happening, man? How can we help you?
Hey guys, doing great. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Awesome. So I'm wondering, if you were starting out running the RGB bundle, how would you periodize mini bulks and mini cuts throughout it to achieve some sort of body recomposition akin to what Adam did back in 2012, 2013? Would you focus more on cutting or bulking? I know in the past you've said your programs aren't built specifically for cutting or bulking specifically, but to achieve best results, like would you focus on bulking in phase 1 of anabolic, for instance? I'm just trying to get your thoughts on how to best achieve those.
I think the way I would decide that would be kind of where I'm currently at, right? So if I'm maintaining myself in like the low teens or even like 9-10% body fat, then I'm probably going to put a lot of energy towards still bulking because I know I can shred that down. And
you got room.
Yeah, and I can shred that down in like 4 weeks. If I was a much higher body fat percentage, say 20 something percent or more, I might run a cut, or it also depends too where your calorie intake is right now too. So I say I might run a mini cut first, and then go back to a mini bulk throughout the whole thing. But if your calorie intake for your size is low, then I'm still going to bulk first. So there's some variables that I would want to figure out first before I decided how I would exactly do that. And by the way, there isn't necessarily a wrong or a right way in this situation. It's just more of a preference. Like if you come to me and you're like, yo, Adam, I'm 5'10", I'm almost 200 pounds, and I'm 25% body fat, I'm going to run the RGB and I want to get shredded. How we start? Well, and then I go, okay, how many calories are you eating? You're like, oh, I'm eating somewhere between 1,800 to 2,200 calories. Okay, let's really focus on building your metabolism first before we even consider cutting. So the bulk of the RGB is going to be focused on building up your metabolism, building muscle, and then we'll eventually shred down when we get to a calorie one. Now, let's say you're at a healthier calorie point. Let's say you're somewhere between 2,500, 2,700 calories. Well, we're in that range. Then we could do a little mini cut, or maybe just start with a short bulk, and try and get maybe up to 2,800, 2,900 calories, and then run a little mini cut, and then back to a mini bulk. So, I mean, we have a lot of options, but you would want to consider all those things that I'm saying on how you would go about it.
Todd, there's a couple things I'll address with this. One is that there's no workout program designed for cutting or bulking. There's workout programs designed for stamina, endurance, muscle building, maximal strength. The diet is really what determines the fat loss or the gain, right? Or the muscle gain. So when people say this is the best cutting program, this is the best, that's all
marketing.
Yeah,
bullshit.
It's all marketing. So all of our programs are designed for a specific kind of physical performance type goal, whether it be strength or muscle or mobility or stamina. Then your calories essentially determine whether or not you're getting leaner or building. And again, the goal with cutting or building is always building. What I mean by that is when you're cutting, you still want to be able to try to build because that'll at least preserve the most muscle. Okay, so I'm going to simplify a little bit about what Adam said. If your goal is to cut, then you want to be in about a 3 or 4 to 1 ratio cut to bulk. What I mean by that is 3 or 4 weeks of a cut with 1 week of a slight bulk, okay? If your goal is to bulk, you can flip that, 3 or 4 to 1 bulk to cut. If your goal is to speed up your metabolism, then it's also like the bulk, about 3 or 4 to 1, where you're slowly bumping calories and you might do a cut for a week or even maybe 4 or 5 days. Does that make sense to you?
It does, yeah.
Okay. So now let's get specific with you, Todd, real quick. What's your body? Do you know what your body fat percentage is at the moment?
I do. Yeah, I'm in like the 18 to 20% range. Okay. Don't have a specific number drilled down, but right around there.
And then what are your calories roughly?
25 to 2,700 calories.
Okay.
For maintenance.
I'd go 3 or 4 to 1 cut to bulk. So in other words, 3 weeks in a cut, and then 1 week in a slight bulk, and then repeat. So there's your mini cut, mini bulk, and I think you'd be okay with that.
I totally agree with Sal. Now that I see your numbers now, I see the 19 to 20%. I see the calories where you're at. So you're actually in a very similar place that I was when I started. Like you referenced my 2012 when I went on my transformation journey. I was at 20% body fat. I was probably around there calorie wise. We're obviously different in height and weight. We're a little bit different, but pretty similar place. And you know what I did was actually, I did not try and really move the scale. My goal was I wanted to just keep my weight right where it was, slowly reduce body fat, slowly build muscle. And so I really didn't do any cutting. It was just tightening up the diet, making better choices.
And it was a slow process.
Yeah, it was very slow. It was just, I wasn't really trying, if anything, I was trying to add calories to the diet. So my goal was, can I continue to make good food choices, get to a place where I'm eating, like in your case, 29, 3,000 calories, and not see the scale really go up or down. And I just did it over like a 6-month period. It was a very slow, but gradual process. And I really didn't do any major cuts until way later, until I had built my calorie intake up. Now I wasn't quite as low as you are. I was probably, I think, around 3,000 when I first started, but I got it up all the way over 4,000 calories. And so then when I decided to go on more of an aggressive cut, it was really easy to lean out. So you could go that route too, where you're not really doing a 3-week cut to a 1-week bulk or vice versa. You just are consistent with making good food choices, slowly trying to add calories and following the RGB, because what's great is we do all the periodizing and the workouts there that your body's going to have novelty and want to build and want to change. And so just by making good food choices and slowly eating more calories to support the training, you should lean out naturally while you do that.
Yeah, here's 2 points with that'll help. Hit your protein targets. So I would aim for at least 170 grams of protein a day, and I would only eat whole natural foods. Those 2 things alone will take out a lot of the guesswork, I should say. You're less likely to overeat, and you're hitting your protein targets. And if you're working out appropriately and properly, which you probably are because you'll be following our programs, then you'll see like a slow change in body composition.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
If you go the slow way, I will recommend this because it helped me. The mental side is the photographs every week, right? So like first thing Friday morning, fasted when I get up, photo front, side, back. And really I needed that because when you're not doing a hard cut or you're not doing a major bulk, there's not major swings. It's a very slow, gradual process. And so I needed this kind of visual reminder of, oh yeah, I'm on the right track. I'm doing good. And I really would only judge myself about every 2 weeks, like, because I took it every week, but I wouldn't correct myself. I wouldn't make adjustments to the training or the calories until I saw like a 2-week mark of like, okay, am I better after these 2 weeks than I was 2 weeks ago? And as long as I could say yes, I stayed the course. And so I do highly, if you go the slower route of just, slowly increasing calories and not really trying to cut hard and just doing what Sal said, whole foods, hit your protein intake, then my recommendation would be to use something like that because you can be a little more objective about, because seeing yourself every day in the mirror, it's easy to get in your own head and be like, oh, I can't see anything changing. And it's like, well, sure you can. If you give yourself a little bit of a break of looking at photos, then I think you can.
Yeah, definitely fall into that trap.
Yep.
Quick follow-up real quick. After I'm done with RGB, I was planning on doing symmetry.
Yep.
I've recently just built my own home gym. So squat rack, barbell, dumbbells. I don't have a cable machine. So in symmetry, is it possible to, rather than a cable machine, use bands, for instance?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. 100%. That's a great replacement. But symmetry is a lot of dumbbell work, and barbell work at the very end. So you'll be set.
Did you say you had a PRX rack?
No, it's like Titan rack, I think.
Okay.
I was just going to recommend. They just got an attachment for a cable, so that is an option now.
Okay, awesome.
That attachment might still work even on his.
It could, yeah.
So look at it. Look
you
at
have a pull-up bar.
Look into it.
I don't know, because it's that bottom part.
It does. So it goes through the hole and it like locks in there. So it's at the bottom, and then you have a pulley, and then you kind of run it through. If you have a pull-up bar, you kind of run it through the top. But it might work. It might not work. Look into it. But yeah, it's just nice that they're kind of coming up with these extra accessories for that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So Todd, do you have symmetry?
I do. Yes. Yep.
Okay, good. You're all set then. And what about Prime and Prime Pro for correctional stuff?
I have Maps Prime. I do not have Pro.
All right. I want to send you something, so I'll send you Prime Pro.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for calling in, Todd.
All right, Todd.
Right on.
Thank you, guys.
You got it. Man, I really do blame our space for the just informing people wrong when it comes to workouts. Like, this is a cutting workout. This is a bulking workout. This is a...
Well, they literally market it both together. Like, so they're trying to like push it as like, this is the ultimate cutting program where you're going to get shredded and they, caddy the nutrition right alongside.
Yeah, it's too bad. First off, working out is a terrible way to lose weight. It's just, this is a fact. Studies will show that it's a terrible way to lose weight. But what you can do with working out is leverage the workouts so that the adaptations you gain from the workouts make fat loss easier later on, and that's building muscle. So if anything, what you want to do is you want to always try to build muscle, and which is what you want to do when you bulk, obviously. But also, it's a great thing to do when you're trying to cut, because the challenge with cutting is you lose muscle. And you don't want to lose muscle. You want to maintain your muscle, so at the very least your metabolism doesn't adapt in such a negative way, but also because you look better and all that other stuff. So the workouts, think of workouts as like performance and physical goals, and then think of the diet as the way to lose or gain. And this is true for bulking as well as cutting.
Yeah, I didn't realize that his stuff was up there. I saw after the fact that we had his numbers up there, because I would have given that probably the original advice. I would have, instead of giving him a mini, and he was referencing my 2012 transformation.
Yeah.
Like, that's exactly how I did it. Was I wasn't trying to cut, or really bulk. I mean, I guess you could say I was in a slight reverse diet. The goal was, can I keep my weight about where I'm at, but recomp, right? Change my body fat percentage. And what that looks like is slowly adding calories while I'm also increasing activity and strength training. And so it kind of negates the extra calories and then partitions over into building muscle. And so you slowly lose body fat, you slowly build muscle. You don't really see the scale. But boy, is that hard.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of discipline for somebody to do that. And
everybody overcorrects.
Yes.
That's the problem. You're trying to gain, you overcorrect by eating too more because, the scale's not moving. You're trying to lose, you overcorrect by eating too little.
Yes. You got to be really patient and trust the process and understand that within a week, you are going to have these moments where you intake extra sodium or you eat a food that your body doesn't digest as well as some other foods, and then you have a little bloat, you have a little bit of water retention, and that visually like throws you off, and may the scale also. So you might see a 1 pound or 2 pound jump on the scale. You might look puffy in the mirror, and it's like, oh fuck, I'm going the wrong way, and then you overcorrect, and it's like you got to understand that's coming, and you got to believe that you got yourself lined up, and then
totally
adjust in 2 weeks.